everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back, and thank you for supporting me. I'm Coretta. In today's video, I will be showing how to create a custom material setting in Cricut Design Space. So come on, let's get started. Okay, so here I am in Cricut Design Space, and from here, I'm going to show you how to set up a custom material setting. You will need to have your machine turned on in order to do this. You can follow this process to set up a custom material setting for any material that Cricut does not have a preset setting for, or you are not able to cut the material with the preset settings that Cricut provides. For this tutorial, I will be showing the easier way to set up your custom material. So, on the top left, you're going to select the 3 horizontal lines. Then you're going to come down and you're going to select Manage Custom Materials. Next, you will select your Cricut device, and for me, I'm going to select my Air 2, but you would select the Cricut machine you want to create the material settings for. Once the machine is connected, you will see a list of all the materials you can cut using your machine. With the Explore Air 2, you will see preset cuttings for your dial settings, and you will see preset settings for your custom materials. You can use these preset settings as a reference to create a new setting when your preset settings provided by Cricut does not work. If your preset settings do not work, I would not recommend changing any of those settings. If they don't work, I would recommend that you would just create a new material setting. Now, to create your own material settings, you would scroll to the bottom, and then you would select Add New Material. Next, you would name your material by typing the name in the new custom material. You can name your material whatever you like. Just make sure it's something that you will remember. For this tutorial, I'm going to be creating a material setting to cut rhinestone flock. So I'm going to name the material setting Rhinestone Flock. After you name your material setting, you will select Save. When you select Save, the screen will bring you to where you will set up your settings for your new material. First, you would change the pressure. The pressure setting is different for everyone's machine, and it's depending on the age of your machine and the age of your blade. For Rhinestone Flock, you can set your pressure between 340 and 350. For my custom setting, I'm going to set my pressure at 345. To do that, I can slide the bar over, or I can use the plus or minus keys to increase it. So I'm going to set my settings to 345. Next, I'm going to leave the multi-cut set to off, and I'm going to leave my blade type set to fine point blade. If you're cutting thicker material, you may need to have multiple cuts and or change to a deep cut blade. So once you're satisfied with your settings, you will then select Save. Then you will scroll down to the bottom again and you will select Done. Now you have created your new material setting, and it's time to do a test cut. To test cut, I'm going to add my rhinestone test cut file to the canvas. I'm going to size my design to 2 inches in width and 1.236 in height. And now I'm going to go to make it. I'm going to select continue. Here on the material screen, you will select Browse All Material in the upper right, just above your materials. You will select Browse All Material. In the search bar, you will search for the material setting you created. So we created Rhinestone Flock as our material setting, and I'm going to hit enter. It is going to bring up your rhinestone flock template your rhinestone material setting that you created. Now, I've already created this setting for my use, but for tutorial purposes, we're going to use the one that we created today, which is rhinestone flock. I've selected it. So then I'm going to select done. Here, you will leave your pressure on default. Once everything is selected, you can load the mat to cut the material. I will get the materials together and then I will meet you at my desk so that we can load the mat. Here I am at my desk and I'm going to load the rhinestone flock onto the green standard grip cutting mat. Now, you can load your rhinestone flock on the mat in 2 ways. You can load your mat with the backing on, or you can load your mat with the backing off. I like to load the mat with the backing off. This will help me to remove the rhinestone flock from the mat so that majority of the cut circles will remain on the mat. And then I would just have to clean the circles off the mat after I'm finished using it. If you leave the backing on your mat, you will need to use a very sticky mat in order for the flock to be able to stick to the mat with the backing on it. So now I'm going to start the test cut. To load the mat into the Cricut machine, I'm going to press the flashing arrow. Next, I'm going to press the flashing C. So now our rhinestone flock has finished cutting. And if you take a quick look at the flock, it looks like the flock did not cut. But if we were to peel the flock off the mat, then you will see that there are cut circles that were left behind on the mat. So you see there are cut circles that are left behind on the mat. But there are also cut circles that did not come off the mat. And that's okay. If you have instances where your flock, the circles don't cut out all the way, then you could just put it back on your mat and press down again. And then peel your flock up. And those dots should be left behind on your mat. If you still have them, then you can just, use your fingers to manually pick them out. But if you have to rip them out, that means that your cut settings did not work and you might want to go and edit your cut settings so that you can get the proper cut so that the circles will cut out completely. And when you remove them, you don't have to rip the flock to get them off. So again, our test cut worked. And if your test cut did not work, you want to go back and edit your material settings so that you can also cut out the flock. If your test cut does not work the way you want it to, you can go back and edit the settings. So to edit, you would select cancel to go back to the canvas, and then you're going to say yes on the cut. We're going to cancel here, and we're going to go back to the canvas. Here, we're going to select the 3 horizontal lines on your upper left-hand side. You're going to select Manage Custom Settings. You're going to select your device. Once connected, you are going to scroll to find your material setting that you created. And the list is in alphabetical order. So you would just scroll down to find your material setting. And here you have rhinestone flock right here. You will find your settings and then you would select edit. Here you would make any of the necessary adjustments and then click save. If you don't want your new material settings, then you can just select delete, and when it prompts you to delete your custom settings, you would just say yes. All right, guys, that's all for now. I hope that you were able to follow along with my process. If you like this video and would like to see more, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will respond back. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.